Well, hello activators and shack slots, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you our experiences when we went to activate Sanbanks Tier in central Tasmania. We thought we were going to be able to drop in there and do a quick 2-hour hike, give or take an hour for activations, and then get down and get going again. We're on our way to the spirit of Tasmania to get back to the mainland. Got to tell you though, nothing was quite what we expected. We hit a couple of hurdles, and I think these are things you might want to know if you're thinking about activating Sanbanks Tier. We ended up giving a nickname. Now, for the sake of the YouTube video, I'm calling it Swear Bear Hill. I gotta tell you though, on the day, that wasn't what we said about it. If I repeated the name we gave that hill, they would not let me publish this on YouTube. So our last night in Tasmania had us staying in Oatlands in central Tasmania. We needed to travel from Oatlands up to Davenport, which took us right through the heart of the Central Highlands. A quick look at the SOTA website showed we were going to pass by 4 or 5 good potential summits, all with 8 or 10 points. Right in the heart of the Central Highlands is a summit, Sandbanks Tier. It's 1391 metres high, it's worth 10 points. It had only been activated 4 times before, and there was no information in the resources. Sandbanks Tier is listed on all trails. They classify it as a hike that is 3.4 kilometres long, with only an elevation of 271 metres, although they do classify it as hard. They say things like, not much of a trail, it's a lot of scree but beautiful views. Didn't rate this hike, good views but got lost a few times. Easy walk up the rock scree. He says easy walk up the rock scree. He does say watch out for the cans, as it's easy to lose the track and end up bashing through the scrub. So with that in mind, it looks like a couple of hours work, an hour for the activation, and we'll be well on our way to Davenport.
Good morning. Okay, so we're on our way to the last hike for Tasmania. It's called Sandbanks Tier. Rated a moderate, so we're not expecting it to be too hard, but apparently it's a bit of a rock scramble at the top. Bernie's huffing and puffing already about it, but you know what, this is a 10-pointer, baby, do what it takes. But we thought we'd take a shortcut. Google tried to tell us to go another route, which I'm sure was more civilized, but you know, we're going to take this route instead. It's about 82 kilometers of this.
So regardless if you're approaching from the north or the south, you get onto Petonia Road. It's a good sealed road, easy drive to the trailhead, and if you've got a rough idea where it is, it's pretty easy to find. You ready, baby?
If you don't hear from me,
What, you've been murdered in the bush.
Tell my mum I love her. She warned me of this.
Dig deep. Last one for the trip.
Okay, bye.
Woo!
All you doing? Honey?
Yep. What is with this?
Is this pole going to hold me back? Oh, I don't...
I could come and help you, or I could film this.
It's going up my...
You right?
You're so rude.
Yet. There's a pile of rocks directly in front of you.
Honey, there's rocks everywhere. Over there?
Where?
There.
Oh, that's a rock pile for sure.
Yeah, well, we're not there.
No, but we'll go this way.
Just letting you know.
This way?
Walking. People following.
So the trail advice for this walk says, follow the cans. Now, in the very first part of the trail, it's actually pretty hard to find the cans. But once you get another couple hundred metres in, it's like everybody who ever came here in the last 20 years built a few cans. We would say the best thing to do, you can see which direction you're going, you can see the peak, you just head in that direction. That's about the point where I put the camera equipment away, because you're rock scrambling up every bit of that steep climb. When the incline of the hill increases, so does the size of the rocks and the gaps in between. The smaller your legs on this walk, the worse it's going to be. It's pretty slow going for someone with little legs.
So here we are. What are we? Sandgroper's Tier. We made it, baby. Sand something or other. Sand fly.
If you fall over right now, I will laugh. I don't care anymore. Worst walk ever.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of enjoyment?
4. Over the rocks, I'm over the bushes, over it. Angry at a loose. Can't even talk.
When you reach the top of the ridgeline, you want to be checking your altitude, because I've thrown the activation zone estimator over the top of the map, and interestingly enough, it looks to me like the activation zone itself covers a fairly broad area across the top of that ridgeline. The area on the top of Sandbanks Tier is pretty rocky, but there's a few spots that are flat enough to set up your equipment. So I set up my dipole, and within about half an hour I had 5 contacts from within Tasmania and Victoria. So I got my activation and my points, and we were good to get back on the road. Unfortunately, the trip down that hill, if you've got little legs, it's pretty hard going down as well. So I reckon Michelle's going to give a glowing report in regard to sand something or others. Now that it's done and dusted, thoughts?
Now that I've caught my breath, I still hate it.
So the reviews, were they accurate?
No, the reviews weren't accurate, or I felt like maybe we just got lost or something. A lot of rock scrambling.
Okay, what about the cans? How do you say this word? Cans? Cans?
The cans? I reckon someone was trying to trick us, because
there was a lot of cans.
Okay.
All right, so as far as the walk goes?
Nah, so not worth it.
All right, 10 points though.
Don't care, views are terrible. I got caught in the bushes like a turtle. We got lost. There was rock scrambling the whole way. No,
It was worth 10 points though.
don't care. Boring. Terrible. Crappy. Wouldn't do it again.
When are we going back?
Never going back.
Do you want to finish off and say?
Where's my dog?
Go on, VK3.
VK3 Whiskey Mike Delta, over and out. So silly.